Okay, up next is Kasey Kahne. He drives the number 5 Farmers Insurance Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. Kasey is our most recent winner, winning last Sunday night in thrilling fashion at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And Kasey, welcome to the chase. And how's that sunk in for you this week, knowing coming here to Richmond that heavy burden has been removed from you?
Yeah, it's been a good week. It felt, it was great to get that win last week, and we hadn't won in a while, so it felt really good personally and for our team, all the guys. Hopefully we can carry that momentum into this weekend. I think Richmond will be a big it'll tell a lot about where we're at as a team, getting ready for Chicago and the start of the chase, depending on how we run and how we perform and how well we work together all night, tomorrow night. So looking forward to it. We started a little bit rough today in qualifying, not so good, but in race trim I thought we were decent. I thought we weren't the best car, but we were fairly close. And, as the track changes tomorrow, it changes, who's the best car a lot of the times. So, looking forward to tomorrow's race.
Take questions now, back in the far corner there. Ben, and then we'll go to Kyle. Ben, Kyle, and then John.
Kasey, Ben White with Lexington Dispatch right here. Just looking at the new qualifying format and looking at the new chase format, how has the competition been different this year in 2014 because of those changes to the way you race, I guess?
Well, I think those are two pretty different things. Qualifying, your car handles so much differently. It's it's a completely different part of the weekend now than what it used to be, and how you prepare and how you make it happen. I feel like I've been one of the best qualifiers in the Cup Series since I've been in Cup until this year, and maybe 15th to 20th best now, and I think that's just all because of how it's changed, and we just, as a team, myself as a driver, have not figured that out. So, qualifying's hurt us this year. Starting position, picking pits, things like that is, not where it has been in the past for us. Haven't been happy about that at all. And then the chase format, I like it. I think once we get there, to make it into the chase, there's some, winning is everything and means so much. And then once we get there, consistency, winning, a little bit of everything to get down to Homestead and to make it past the first round and the second round. And so I like that. I'm kind of interested to see how it plays out, how intense it gets and things at each, third race. I think it'll be pretty fun to be part of it. Really glad I'm part of it and get to, be in the mix during all of that. And then as a fan, get to, watch it and see, how that new system works.
Let's go to Kyle, and then we'll go to John.
Kyle McCurry, Fox 46 in Charlotte. We see a lot of excitement in this race. A lot of times people are upset and tempers flare at the end. I wonder, do you think this new chase format is going to impact the way the race ends and the way the race goes on tomorrow night?
Well, I think, a lot of that has to do with kind of where cautions fly. I felt like today in practice, just kind of your normal guys were the best guys, and it was just a normal weekend, as far as looking at averages and things. So, I think Clint, Kyle, Paul Menard, Austin, there's some guys there that still really have a legit shot of making the chase, especially if they can figure out how to get a win. And with depending on when those cautions fall, track position, 2 tires, 4 tires, that'll play into someone's hand at the end of the race, I'd imagine, and it'll get kind of wild, crazy. But 4 tires is big here, just the way that the tires fall off. So it'll be interesting. People have to take chances. It's going to be your only way to make it, I would imagine. Taking chances or just having a great car, and I didn't see those guys having that great car in practice, but things change a lot before tomorrow night's race.
Back in the back, John.
John Hustler, NASCAR Productions. This is a preview question. You already kind of touched on the chase, but next week in Chicago, since it's the first race in the chase, how are you and your team preparing for that race in hopes to get off to a great start in the chase?
Well, I think this weekend, means a lot to me, and trying to figure out, if we're ready as a team, if we can put another full race together, work hard all night long, make the right decisions and things to be there late in the race. So I think this weekend's big for us in our preparation for Chicago. I was glad I went and raced that our last off weekend. I went and ran for Junior Motorsports at Chicagoland. We ran fourth. We had, I felt like we had a really good time and learned a little bit about the track and the tire. Just so that's fresh on my mind. Hopefully we can use some of that, and help us when we get there. But it's Chicago's a cool track. I really enjoy it, and there'll be lots of racing going on. You can move around. So you just, it's all about kind of momentum and where you're at, and I feel like right now we've got some momentum as a team, and hopefully we can carry it through Saturday night and take it with us to Chicago.
Other questions for Kasey right here, and then to Nate.
Kasey, Billy Phone, Richmond Times-Dispatch. You won your first race here in 2005. It's almost a decade later. Can you look back on that race and how you've grown as a driver and where you've come since then?
Yeah, I mean, so many things have changed since then, for myself and for NASCAR, the racetrack itself, the tire. I mean, it's not even similar, really, anymore. But that was a great night for us. I remember it pretty clearly. To get that first win with Ray Evernham and our guys that had worked hard. We ran second a bunch prior to that, so it was it was a big win for us. Had to beat Tony Stewart. Kind of came down to the end. We had a restart and cleared him, and was able to drive away at that point. So it was good. We had a great car that whole night, though. We ran up front. Majority of the race we were up front, and so yeah, I feel like I was probably better at Richmond then than I am now.
Let's go to Nate. Raise your hand, Nate. Get him the mic, please.
I got one.
Okay, go ahead.
Thanks. Nate Ryan, USA Sports. Kasey, now that you're actually in the chase, have you and Kenny had a chance to sit down this week and analyze the new format and structure and how to attack it with eliminations? Is that important to kind of review going into the 10 to kind of know how to strategize, maybe how to use your resources differently?
Well, I think it's important to understand it for sure, and we did that Tuesday. We looked at it. It was the first time I'd looked at it since January when it all came out, or I can't remember when. I think it was about January. So just kind of make it clear, get it clear in my head again, and Kenny did the same, because I think there's definitely a lot to it and understanding and trying to play it right. So we've looked at that and we've started thinking about thinking ahead a little bit, which you have to do to be prepared, but at the same time we can't get ahead of ourselves. And I think I still think tomorrow night's a big key race for us, and how we perform as a team, and hopefully we can do it. Hopefully we can do everything, stay focused, work hard, get the most we can out of the car, and be there late in the race and be at our best those final 100 laps. That's how you win Sprint Cup races. So that's what we'll work on again for tomorrow.
Looking ahead, what strikes you, I guess, is it just the eliminations? Is it just you get 3 races and you got to get
Yeah, I think the eliminations is, you got to understand that side of things and the points and being consistent still. But I think just winning, having the speed. If you have a lot of speed in your car, I feel like that's going to be the key to running well throughout the chase, is just having speed each week, and not just barely getting by, because that'll only work from maybe the first round. So you need to have speed. You need to, be in the middle of it, and I think those 3 extra points for us going in will be good. It'd be nice to have 6.
Any other questions? Chris Knight in the back. Raise your hand. We'll get you a mic, Chris.
Chris Knight, catchfence.com. Kasey, I know you said you struggled in qualifying this year, but how crucial will be qualifying in the chase this year?
Yeah, I think it'll be pretty crucial. I think that's it's a big part of our weekend, is where you start, where your pit stall is. Pit stops are everything. They mean so much throughout a race. So, not just if your team's on, but where your pit stall is too, because you can gain a little bit on different pit roads. And if you have that first couple choices, it seems to help, especially throughout 10 races. If you can qualify really well, at some point that's going to definitely benefit you. So we've worked on that though. We've tried to get better, and we've made some gains. They've been small, but we've definitely made some gains in qualifying, and hopefully we're be prepared to make some more.
Go to Marty Smith. Give Marty the mic, and then we'll go over here to Stan.
Marty Smith, ESPN. Hey, Kasey. In terms of the importance of winning last weekend for the larger, broader scope, and for you personally, how would you rank the importance of that performance last weekend in terms of your career?
That's really high. I mean, I've had some really, exciting big wins in my career. I feel like that meant a lot, but I would say with pressure, with where we've been as a team this year, early in the season not having much speed, then having pretty good speed but not being able to finish, to pull that off late, when the pressure kept building. I feel like about a month ago I started to feel it a little bit more, and something happens at Bristol, and now suddenly we need to win to make the chase, and if we don't, we're probably going to miss the chase, so we went into it with that mentality, and luckily we were able to pull it off. Everything worked our way. We had a great car at the end. The restarts were good. The pit stop put us 5th, and for whatever reason, all those little things played in our favor that night. So it was big. It was a huge relief, and I felt like as a team we stepped up, higher than we have in the past.
Go over here to Stan.
Over to your left, I think. Right.
Yeah.
Stan Creekmore. Obviously, you just talked about the pressure you felt in trying to get that win. How does the pressure now, I mean, after this race is over, there's the pressure to win the championship. Is it going to be any different at all?
I think it's a good bit different. I think a couple things. My teammates have been in for a while. Everyone knows that we have great race cars, great engines. Mr. Hendrick gives us everything we need, teams, all that stuff. So, to miss the chase with, there was 11, 12 races left, that's difficult. That's something I didn't want to go through. And, we fought through there, we made it. So that pressure is gone now. We're in the chase, and that feels really good. I would imagine there's more pressure than that when you get down to the bottom of it, down to Homestead or Phoenix, and you're going for a championship. But I've never been in that situation, so I don't know exactly how that works. We've been 4th, 5th, somewhere in there, getting down to those final races. But to actually have a legit shot to win a championship is much different. And I don't think I would say that's where the pressure is when you get there again, from what I felt in the last couple weeks, just wanting to be there and needing to be there.